So begin standing and just focusing on how you're feeling right now. Notice how you're feeling physically. Kind of rock around back and forth from toes to heels. Stretching the balls of your feet. Finding as much space between the toes as you possibly can. And then come to rest, making a nice firm foundation. Pressing down through pinky toes, big toes, and your heels. Soften the knees, but slightly turn your inner thighs toward each other. Draw your belly in and lift up the pelvic floor, and just breathe. Let the breath fill your belly and lift your heart. Let it come out through your head. Feel your rib cage expand in all directions. Top to bottom, front to back, side to side. Think about maybe setting an intention for your practice. Maybe keeping that concept of ahimsa or non-harming, non-violence in the forefront of your mind as you move through this routine. Knowing that you can control this practice. Don't do any more than your body will allow, but also don't do much less unless you're not feeling good and just need to take a break. Just do whatever it is that will make this yoga right for you today. On your next inhale, inhale your arms out to a T, then stretch them up overhead. Stretch way up. Press down through your feet as you pull up through the belly and the hips. Bring your hands together, interlace your fingers. Send your index fingers high, then exhale, hinge backward, look back behind you. Inhale, come back up straight. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale, back up. Release, and exhale, fold forward. Let your hands come all the way to the floor. Look back between your knees. And breathe. Now inhale, come up on your fingertips or come to a half lift. Then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, back to half lift. Exhale, fold again. Now inhale, reverse your swan dive out and up. Stretching up and gazing up, bringing palms together, interlacing fingers. Send index fingers high. And exhale, hinge backward, looking back behind you. Inhale back vertically. Exhale, lean to the right. Look underneath the left arm, looking up. Inhale back to center. And exhale, lean to the left, looking into the right arm upward. Inhale back up. And exhale, release, swan diving down, folding right at the hips. Coming to forward fold. Let your knees be soft and rest right here. Let your belly sink. Let the crown of your head stretch toward the floor. And inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive out and up. And last time through, interlacing fingers, pointing index high, exhaling backward. Inhaling up. Exhaling to the right, looking upward under the left arm. Inhaling up, exhaling to the left, looking up under the right arm. Inhaling up and exhaling, releasing hands, hinging at the hips, coming all the way down. And resting right here. Now from here, walk your hands as far to the right as you can without moving your feet. Let your nose point at your knees and keep breathing. Stretch particularly through the left side of your body from the left hip flexor around, if that makes any sense. Then inhale, walk back to center. Take a breath. And on your next inhale, walk to the left. Keep your feet stationary. Stretching to the right side. Inhale, walk back to center. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, reverse your swan dive out and up. Stretch up and gaze up. Exhale, swan dive down. Then walk your hands out to a plank position. Hold your belly in tight. Keep breathing. Draw the shoulder blades toward each other. Then on your next inhale, ease your hips up to downward facing dog. Readjust your feet and stretch. Stretch hips towards sky, heart toward upper thighs, heels toward ground. Then inhale, bend your knees and look forward. And exhale, take your right foot forward and come into a runner's lunge. So sink your hips down, gaze up. You might want to come up on your fingertips for this. Feel the stretch through the left upper thigh. Then exhale, slowly lower your left knee, release the top of the foot. And inhale your torso up, arms out to goalposts, coming into a kneeling warrior. Now send your hips back. Come up on the heel of your front leg. Now bring your hands down to either side of that front leg and point your nose towards your knee. And inhale, come forward. Walk your hands back up. Bring your front foot back. And you're going to be in tabletop, hands and knees. Pause right here. Readjust your hands so they're under your shoulders, knees in line with hips, belly tight, shoulder blades moving back. Now begin to move through your cows and cats. Inhaling to drop the belly, lift the tail, look up. Exhaling to arch and draw the chin back. Close down your eyes if you like, and just move with the breath. And come to a quiet tabletop. Tuck your toes, straighten your legs, and lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Now bend your knees and inhale your left foot forward, coming into a runner's lunge. Feeling the stretch through the top of the right upper leg. And on your next exhale, slowly lower the right foot, release the top, or the right knee, release the top of the foot, and inhale up to a kneeling warrior on this side. Now, inhale, start to move your hips back, come up on the heel, bring your hands down, and point your nose toward your knee. And inhale, rock your feet forward, and then come back to tabletop. Hands and knees together on the floor. And move through another round of cows and cats. Then pause in tabletop. Tuck your toes, straighten your legs, and lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, bring your right foot forward, and sink into a runner's lunge. Lifting your heart high. And on your next exhale, lowering the left knee, releasing the left foot, top to the mat, then inhaling up to kneeling warrior. Now starting to lean your weight back, lean forward, bring your hands to the mat, and point your nose toward your knee. Send your hips back just a little farther. Send your nose down a little closer to the knee. And inhale, rock your weight forward. Bring your front foot back. And then bring your opposite foot forward and come into a runner's lunge with the left foot forward. On your exhale, lower the right knee, release the top of the right foot, and inhale up to kneeling warrior. On your exhale, start to ease your hips back, bring your hands down, point your nose toward your knee. Now ease your hips back a little more, bring your knee and nose a little closer together. And inhale, bring your weight forward. Now come back to tabletop. And one last round of cow and cat. Then pause and tabletop, tuck your toes, straighten your legs, and lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Now draw your feet together and inhale your right leg up to a three-legged dog. Point the toes at the earth, send your heels low. Keep your hip bones parallel to the ground, or if this is parallel as you can get. On your next exhale, bend your knee, bring it through. Stay up on the toes of your back foot. We're going to inhale up to a high crescent lunge. Bring biceps up by ears. Let your hips sink. Gaze up if you can without losing your balance. Then exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog and we'll switch sides. So inhale the opposite leg up. Point the toes, stretch the hips toward the ground. Stretch your heart back toward your knees still. Then exhale, bend the knee and bring it through. Set it on the mat. Stay up on the toes of your back foot. And inhale up to high crescent. And exhale, bring your hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. Now, bring your feet together, bend your knees and look forward. And on your exhale, step your feet to your hands. Coming to a forward fold. Bring your big toes together, then inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, press through your feet. Hold your belly tight, rise all the way up. Stretching up and gazing up. And exhale, sink into a chair. Hands at your heart. Now on your next inhale, bring your right ankle to your left knee and squat down. Keep your heart high and breathe. Squat a little lower, keeping your heart a little higher. And inhale, release, arms out and up. Stretch up and gaze up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive out and up, stretching up and gazing up. Exhale, sink back to chair, hands at heart. And now we will switch sides whenever you're ready. Sinking into your one-legged chair. And sinking a little lower, keeping the heart high. And inhale to rise up, arms out and up. Stretch up and gaze up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Bring your feet together. Inhale your right leg up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through. Stay up on the sole. Your back foot. Inhale up to high crescent. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to downward facing dog. And inhale the opposite leg up to three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through. Stay up on the back foot. Coming up to high crescent on this side. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. And inhale, bend your knees, look forward. And exhale, step your feet to your hands. Coming to a forward fold, bringing the big toes together. Inhale to your half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse your swan dive out and up. Stretching up, gazing up, and exhale, sink back to chair, hands at your heart, and get ready to twist. So as always, be mindful of your low back. Start by taking an inhale, turning your torso to the right, looking back behind you. Now on your exhale, if your back allows, bring the left elbow across, bring thumbs back to collarbone, and look up over your raised shoulder. Exhale, look down. Inhale, come back to a center chair. And on your next inhale, turn the opposite way. And exhale, go low if you're going. Now exhale, look down, and inhale, rise up, arms out and up. Stretching up, gazing up. Exhale, swan back down. Plant your hands and step back to downward facing dog. Bring your feet together and inhale the right leg up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through. Stay up on the ball of your back foot. Inhale up, high crescent. Exhale, lower your hands down, step back to downward facing dog. And inhale the left leg up, three-legged dog. Exhale, bring it through. Stay up on the toes and inhale up to high crescent. Exhale, bring your hands to the mat and step back to downward facing dog. Now inhale, bend your knees, look forward, and exhale, step your feet to your hands. Back to your forward fold, big toes together. Inhale to half lift, flattening out the back. Exhale, fold, and inhale, reverse your swan dive out and up. Stretching up and sinking back to chair, hands at your heart. And sit just a little lower. Sink a little lower still. Bring your hands down and take a seat. Legs straight out. Take a moment to close down your eyes and breathe right here. On your next inhale, inhale your arms out and up. Stretch up and gaze up, and exhale, hinge forward. Let your hands fall wherever they do. Draw your shoulder blades back. Let your nose point towards your knees. And inhale, look up halfway. And on your exhale, let yourself relax in just a little more deeply. And on your next exhale, relax a little, tiny bit more. And inhale, look up. And slide your hands up. Now, do a cross-legged seated. And inhale, both arms out and up. Stretch way up. Bend your right elbow. Bring your right hand across and guide that elbow back behind your head a bit and press down. Now, bring your left hand up and around and back and see if you can find your fingers behind you. You might be able to, you might not. Sit up tall, keep the belly tight. Exhale, release. And inhale your arms out and up, stretching up, and switch sides. Starting by guiding the elbow back, pressing on it. And bringing that supporting hand around back and reaching for your fingers. It's okay if you don't reach them. Then exhale, release. Come to rest with your hands on your knees. Now bring your feet together into a long diamond. Inhale, sit up nice and tall. Bring your hands underneath your pinky toes. Bring your thumbs in between your big toes. Take a deep inhale again, and then exhale, just hold in, bringing your elbows to the triceps, to the area right below your knees. Point your nose either down at the center of the mat or at your heels, and just breathe right here into a cobbler's pose. Let your breath stay nice and deep. And inhale, slowly raise up. Extend your left leg out Bring the right foot to the inner thigh. So you've made a little figure 4. Inhale your arms out and up. On your exhale, hinge forward. Turn your left ear towards your left knee and peek underneath your right arm. If you can twist just a little more without hurting. And exhale, look forward. Pause right here, point your nose right at your knee. And inhale, look up halfway, pause there, then release your foot. And switch sides. Extend the right leg, bring the left foot to the inner thigh. Inhale your arms out and up, stretching way up. And exhaling, folding in, turning right ear toward right knee, peeking underneath the left arm. Now see if you can twist just the tiniest bit more. And exhale, look forward. Pause, come up halfway, and then bring your feet flat on the mat, knees pointing up. Do some shoulder rolls up, around, and back. And then forward. And back again. Then let your shoulder blades come together. Shoulders move away from the ears. Let your hands rest behind your knees. Find your sitting bones, so push around a bit. Then inhale, move into a bow, bringing your feet up, leaning backward, keeping shoulders down, core tight. Let your hands be light, and just breathe. Now cross your ankles, lower your feet down. Use your hands to lift up your torso, wag your tail to release the low spine. Then settle back down, reset for a second boat. When you're ready, move into your second boat. This time bring your arms out to the sides or to the front, either one. Now cross your ankles, lower your feet, lift up, release the low spine, and settle in for the last one, the best one. Re-establishing your core, and then inhaling, coming into boat, bringing arms out or front, and straightening legs. Crossing feet, lowering down, lifting up, wiggle wagging. Then settling back with feet flat on the mat, knees pointing up. Let your arms come to the outside of your legs, then slowly lower down. Let your head come down last, and you'll be in constructive rest pose. Draw your feet back towards your glutes a bit, and then just rest right here, making a flat surface for your back, adjusting until you're comfortable. Let your breath stay deep, breathing from belly to heart to head and back out. And on your next inhale, keep your glutes down, but just gently tilt your hips back towards your shoulders. You'll feel a curve in your low back. And on your exhale, tilt your hips toward your heels and press your low spine into the floor. Move with your breath, alternating hips back, lower spine release, and exhaling hips toward heels, lower back to the mat. Come to a relaxed position. Bring your feet back a little closer to your glutes. And pressing down through your triceps and your feet. Inhale, lifting your torso up into a bridge. Palms can be flat on the mat. You might want to bring them together underneath you. And just breathe. And exhale, slowly lower. Widen your feet out to the long sides of your mat so your knees are apart. Bring your arms up to a T. And send both knees to the right. Inhale back to center and exhale, send them to the left. Inhale back up. And do these little windshield wipers several times, keeping your shoulders down. Releasing the low spine a little more. And pause, draw your feet back towards your glutes. Reset your shoulders and inhale up for a second bridge. Then exhale, slowly lower. Draw your knees up to your chest this time. Give yourself a big hug and then a little massage. Rock gently from side to side. Focusing on the low spine, the lumbar area. Now pause at the center, let your feet come back to the mat, reset your shoulders, and inhale up for your last bridge. And exhale, slowly lower. This time, extend your feet straight out. Let your bottom stay right where it is, and slowly walk them as far to the right as you can. Pause when you have to move your hips. Keep breathing. Now walk your feet a little farther to the right if you can. Then exhale, walk your feet back to center. Take a breath here. And on your next inhale, walk your feet to the left, keeping your glutes down, shoulders down, pausing when you get to your stopping point. And walking just a bit farther. And exhale, walk your feet back to center. Pause right here. And bring your feet flat on the mat, back to constructive rest. Now take your right ankle to your left knee. Lift your left leg up. Thread the needle, bring your hands together underneath your raised leg, and then draw your knees back toward your chest into a sleeping pigeon. Flex both feet. Stretch the fascia, coming down the sole of the foot. Draw the knees back in a little bit more. Now extend the top leg straight up, hug your knee in, bring your hands around the shin, hug it in tighter. On your next exhale, lift the raised leg, slowly descend to the mat and hug the knee even tighter still. Now bring both knees back together and switch sides. Put the left knee on top, thread the needle, and draw your legs back toward your chest in the sleeping pigeon. I'll draw the knee back in a little more. Now extend the left leg straight up, hug the right knee in tightly. And exhale, let the left leg slowly descend. And hug your knee in a little tighter. Now draw both knees back in. This time, widen them apart. Bring your arms up between your legs. Find the outsides of your feet. Spread your knees apart. Move your heels apart to be the happy baby. Let yourself rock back and forth a bit. And come to a still point and draw your knees back toward your armpit. Now move your first two fingers and your thumbs to wrap your big toes. Draw your toes in and extend your legs straight out, straightening them out to the sides. Now bend your knees and bring your arms up through your legs, lifting your head and shoulders off the mat, and then lifting your tailbone. And exhale, relax. Inhale, stretch through and lift the tailbone. And exhale, relax. Inhale last time. Stretching through, lifting tailbone into oyster. Exhale, slowly bring your feet flat on the mat, back to constructive rest. And extend your legs straight out, touching big toes, letting your heels move apart, letting your legs fall apart into Shavasana. Open and close your jaw and move it from side to side. And roll your eyeballs up, stick your tongue out as far as you can, coming into Sleeping Lion. And let your tongue come back in your mouth. Let everything relax. If there's other poses you'd like to do, maybe a couple of supine twists, feel free to take them before you move into your Shavasana. This is from a book called Wishful Thinking, which is a seeker's ABC. Under C, for compassion, he writes, compassion is a sometimes fatal capacity for feeling what it's like to live inside somebody else's skin. It is the knowledge that there can never really be any peace and joy for me until there is peace and joy finally for you too. Go ahead and stay in Shavasana as long as you like and leave when you're ready. Thank you so very, very much for coming and sharing your practice this afternoon. Namaste.